Stu here with a spooky Raid Shadow Legends. So we just got 3 new champions added to our champion pool for the Halloween event. So we already have Harvest Jack. If you look at news, go to Trick or Treat, which I'm sure most of you have already done because I'm late to the party. Brakus the Shifter is a werewolf. Looks amazing. Harvest Jack we can get from the fusion, which we'll talk about in just a minute because he's not up to par for what people are saying he should be. We have Madam Serris, who is a witch. She looks amazing, is amazing. And then we have the Miscreated monster, Frankenstein, we'll call him Frank. So these 2 epics are really epic plus. They're really legendaries in disguise. They are setting a new standard for how powerful epics should be if they come out with more epics like this. Compared to all the epics we have out there, most epics are garbage. They're not any good at all. And these epics are way over the top. So I don't know where we're going to go from that, but I want these 2 epics more than I want this legendary because I like straight DPS, sure, but I like somebody who does a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So we'll see. We're going to get into that right now. Let's go look at Harvest Jack really quick though in Undead, see what he's got. So people are saying that somebody out there has a Harvest Jack with 250 critical damage, 100% crit rate, a whole bunch of HP because all his skills are based off of HP, and he's hitting like a wet noodle. That's not good. That is not good because Foley was kind of the same way. A lot of people chased after Foley. Foley didn't work out the way people liked because he's attack based, so it's hard to make him really strong, but then he's fragile. And then we got Molly Tankard. She does the job of taunting. A lot of people can do that as well. So now we have this guy Harvest Jack, and if he's not hitting hard, to me, if he's not hitting as hard as Sir Nick, there's an issue. He should be hitting as hard as Sir Nick because they're both based off of HP, right? And this guy's a legendary, the other guy's a legendary. They both have, Sir Nick is very, very powerful. He has a super strong kit. This guy has a super strong kit. I don't want him to be OP, but I want him to be in line with all other legendaries. He should not be hitting weak if he is, in fact, hitting weak. I don't know 100%, but if so, I mean, Mountain King came out. They needed to adjust him twice. This guy could have come out, and maybe they need to adjust him twice as well. Who knows? If so, we need to talk to Polarium about it and get it done for sure. So let's look at our other champions that we have. We're going to go into the Werewolf Skinwalker right away. Okay, look at this guy. And right away, you're like, wow, this guy looks amazing. All of them look amazing. The first 3 that we just got. Harvest Jack also looks amazing. So right now, we know that the game, like the main reason we play this game is because it looks amazing. Let's just be real. It's not because of anything else. We're waiting for content to come out. We're at a boring period right now, unless you're a new player and you've got tons of stuff to do. In game, we're all like, what's going on? But this guy and this look in the game is why we're here, because it looks amazing. So I don't want any more low budget champions coming out from Polarium, especially if they are an epic or a legendary. They better look amazing like this. No more copies, no more lazy, low effort champions. These are great looking. Congratulations. Thank you for doing a wonderful job. Let's get into what he can do. Super high HP, super high attack, low defense, it doesn't matter. And then speed, which is really good. So he can attack and do and heal back damage that he does, 15% of the damage on a skill 1. His skill 2 is really amazing. 3-turn cooldown once maxed out, hits 6 times, 1 target 6 times, heals by 25% of the damage done, heals for more if there's fear or true fear up by 50%. And then after the first hit, 100% chance to apply weaken to 25% weaken, which is insane for 3 turns. 3-turn cooldown, weaken the whole time, hits for 6 times, heals back 25% of the damage it does. Single target though. Fire Knight, this guy would be awesome. He'd almost bring down the shield in this one move himself. It's on a 3-turn cooldown, so that's really good. His third ability also hits multiple times. It places an increased attack buff on all your allies for 3 turns, and then attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a chance to place True Fear debuff for 1 turn, and another chance to place a Fear debuff on 2 random enemies for 1 turn if True Fear debuff is placed. Now, True Fear, if they try to use an ability, they have a 50% chance to not play, to lose that turn and to put that skill on max cooldown. Fear, they just have a 50% chance to lose that turn. It does not place it on max cooldown. So, of course, if you have this on you, Fear and True Fear are not going to work on bosses, so do not worry about that. This is only good for PvP and for waves, right? So people want to use this guy in Clan Boss. I don't think he's going to be that great in Clan Boss, honestly. I think with Giant Slayer and War Master, you're still going to need Lifesteal gear. I don't think he's going to heal off of procs from those. I think only Lifesteal gear is actually healing from procs. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comment below if I'm wrong on that or not. So also, damage increased on his passive by 40% if the champion's HP drops below 40%. The really cool one is revive this champion with 20% HP when killed and immediately grants an extra turn on a 5-turn cooldown. So say you're in PvP, he gets nuked right away because he's weak, but he's really high DPS wise. He comes back, you do full moon rampage, hit somebody for 6 times, heal back 25% of the damage. I'm sure he's going to be back at full life then and take somebody out. Could be pretty cool. Again, I like this guy. I think he's going to be super fun to play with, but I kind of want the epics more, and we're going to go over why. So Brakus the Shifter is amazing. He's a great legendary, tons of damage. I can't wait to see what people can do with him, for sure. We're going to go to Frank next because I want to save the witch for last because she's one of my favorite. Now this guy, whole new look. I'm not big on this Frank look here, but it's very cool for Halloween. I like the lightning, everything else. Let's get into his abilities. Super high HP, right? He's an HP-based champion that actually does damage based on HP, not because of this. I'm not saying it because of that. He has 23,000 HP. Insane. So much. The rest of the stuff we don't even need to worry about for his stats-wise. So on a skill 1, he attacks 2 times. One target 2 times. Each hit has a 25% chance to place a stun debuff. Has a 50% chance to place 60% decreased defense debuff for 1 turn if the stun debuff is placed. Super good, only for waves or PvP. Unfortunately, this isn't going to happen on the boss because we can't stun a boss. I'm sure they designed him this way on purpose. If he could do this on a boss, do decreased defense, he would be really phenomenal. But that doesn't matter. He's got so much going for him. It is insane. So here we go. Skill 2, 3-turn cooldown once maxed out. Attacks all enemies. Has a 50% chance to place a stun debuff for 1 turn. That 3-turn cooldown, chance to stun, is amazing on its own, based off of HP. Places a shield buff on all allies for 3 turns equal to 25% of the damage inflicted. Also, so that's, you got a 3-turn move, you're going to AoE everybody, do massive damage. Hopefully, since it's based on HP, we'll get his HP high, we'll get his crit damage, we'll get his crit as 100%, we'll get his crit damage at 200 to 250%, whatever we can push it to. Do massive damage, get shields for everybody on your team for 25% of that damage for a 3-turn on a 3-turn cooldown, and then also have a chance to stun people. That is insane. Now that's only his skill 2. We have a skill 3 and a passive still to go over. So let's go over to his skill 3. Skill 3 places a 50% ally protection buff on all allies for 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. Now this is the first time we've seen 3-turn on a 4-turn cooldown. Usually it's 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. So that is really strong. And another thing that makes him better than an epic, right? Heals this champion by 50% of his max HP, which is a crazy amount because he's going to have super high HP. And then places 15% continuous heal buff on this champion for 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. So again, we have abilities that are doing multiple things that are extremely strong on epics that really are pretty much better than some legendaries out there. They are better than some legendaries out there. This guy, Monster, Frankenstein, and the witch is, I can't remember her name right now, Serris, is better than, they are better than some legendaries out there, really. They truly are. They are epic plus. Now his passive, place a fear debuff on an attacker for 1 turn whenever an ally is attacked while under ally protection. Well, they're going to be under ally protection 3 out of 4 turns. If you go into the support mastery, you can try to extend ally protect with a 30% chance whenever it's cast. So it's going to be up a lot, and you're going to be placing fear on anybody that attacks. So for waves, in dungeons, in anything, he's got a 3-turn AoE, stunning people, putting shields on you. He's got ally protect for 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown, and if anybody attacks any of your guys, they're going to get fear placed on them. Also heals this guy for an insane amount, and then he can stun and decrease defense on his skill 1, but he can't decrease defense on the boss or stun the boss, of course. So going through waves, crazy carry. In PvP, crazy, lots of fun. I cannot wait to get him. And now let's get over to my girl here, the witch in Dark Elves. What is her name? Oh, Madam Serris. So again, look at this. The staff, right? It's dripping off whatever. These other things are flying up in the air. The bat's flying around her. Look at her face and her hair, her whole costume. We've got these vials on her legs. I mean, everything about it is beautiful. Really. This, the werewolf, and Frank. So no more low budget heroes anymore. I want heroes like this. If they're epic or legendary, they need to look like this. They really do. Amazing. So let's get into what she has. Super high HP, super high defense as well. She does damage based on attack, but that's okay. We don't need to do crazy damage with her because of what she does is phenomenal. So here we go. She can attack. She attacks one enemy on her skill 1. 20% chance to place a fear buff on them for 1 turn. 30% chance if they have 1 debuff, and a 45% chance if they have 2 or more debuffs. Of course, we can't fear bosses, but really good for PvP, really good for waves. Skill 2, 3-turn cooldown maxed out. 50%, it attacks all enemies. So we're doing AoE damage. Fantastic on a 3-turn cooldown. My favorite thing to have. 50% chance to steal 1 random buff from each target. So already, that is a tier above most things in the game. Places a block debuffs buff on all allies for 2 turns if any buff is stolen. So again, if you steal any buffs from them whatsoever, just 1, then all your guys, your whole team is going to get block debuffs and not be able to take, they're going to block any debuffs coming in for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. And there's more. Places a true fear debuff for 1 turn on enemies who have buffs stolen. So if you did steal a buff, you placed a true fear on them. This is going to be insane in PvP, insane in waves. I mean, it's just crazy. If there's anything in the waves that have a buff on them and you get a chance to take it, great. 3-turn cooldown. PvP, it's going to be insane. And then you place true fear on them if you take a buff. And then if you did take at least 1 buff, you're getting block debuffs on your whole team. That, and it, the rest of her could be nothing else, and that alone would be insane. Now we're going to go to her skill 3, which really is the kicker. This makes her legendary easily. So 4-turn cooldown on her skill 3 removes all buffs from the enemy, which that alone is amazing. If that's all she did on a 4-turn cooldown, remove all buffs from the enemy, then it's still good, right? You'd be like, wow, this girl has an amazing kit with her skill 1, 2, and with her passive. We'll go over her passive in a second. But not only does it remove all buffs from the enemies, it places a 50% decreased attack debuff and a 60% decreased defense debuff on all enemies for 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. Look at Terrell. Terrell does 2-turn decreased defense of 60% on a 4-turn cooldown, and that's it. This girl is removing all buffs from the enemies, placing a decreased attack and a decreased defense for 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. Waves, bosses, PvP, it doesn't matter. Anything you face, you're stripping everything they have, you're making them weaker so you don't take that much damage, and you're making it easier for you to kill them. This is insane. This is a legendary in disguise. 100% this move is a legendary move. I don't know who's going to argue with that. So if you get her, congratulations. I want to play her in everything. I want to play her as a carry. I want to play her as a deterrent. I want to play her, wherever I can. Even on boss stages, at least she still has the ability to decrease attack and decrease defense for 3 turns every 4 turns. If you knew this could hit every turn, which, you're going to get resistance on the boss every once in a while, you could play her in Clan Boss. You could honestly play her in Clan Boss if you were fast enough, taking a turn over or decreasing the turns for her with like Painkeeper. You could keep this up all the time if it didn't get resisted. But more than likely, it's going to get resisted eventually. So Clan Boss, not as good. Everything else, phenomenal. Her passive places a shield buff on this champion for 10% of her max HP, which she has really high HP, at the start of each turn. Now, I don't know if that means at the start of each turn or the start of her turn. When attacked while under this buff, has a 35% chance to place fear debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. Again, if you look at Madam Serris, if you look at the monster, whatever, their kits are well above any epic that we have out there. They really, truly are. They're amazing. So I hope we get more like this. And what we really need to do is go back and rebalance a lot of our epics out there, because we have 90% of our epics are pretty trash. Like, nobody uses them. They're not very good at all. And they're just not good for situations and in-game content out there for what we have. So I really hope they go back and rebalance a lot of them. But these champions that we have here are amazing. Let me know your thoughts on all of them. I don't even know who am I looking at right now. I cannot wait to get the Witch, Serris, and I can't wait to get Frankenstein. I want to play with them both. If I get the Brakus guy here, this werewolf, he looks amazing. I'm going to play him, of course. I'm going to see what I'm going to have fun with him. He's super strong. He's going to do a lot of damage. But honestly, I want the 2 epics. Let me know your thoughts below. Good luck on everybody for summons. Oh yeah, stop. Do not summon yet. Wait for the summon event so we can get the girl we need for the Void chick, the firstborn that we need for Harvest Jack Fusion. So do not summon. Wait for that event to come out. It should be out tomorrow, if not the next day. I think tomorrow. So let me know in the comments below what you think about these champions. Are you amazed? Are you happy? And do you have any of them? Or which one, which ones do you want? I want all of them, of course, but I will take the 2 epics and be very happy with that. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Thanks so much for the support. I will see you all on a video soon.